Hey, welcome back. A few weeks ago, I went ahead and did ordered a soil test kit from MySoil soil testing kit. They're based here locally in Washington, over on the east side of the Cascades. Um, I made a whole video on that, and I wasn't comfortable with what I made. I rushed through it, didn't have a whole lot of details in front of me, so I did get the results back, and um, we'll go over those here in just a second. But if you want to learn how to use this test kit, how to take a test properly, and get a little more detail on it, I'm going to invite you to go over to Justin Webb's YouTube page, The Lawn Whisperer, and I'll put a link in the icon and a link in the description below. But check out his video. It turned out really great. Justin always does great work. But with that, I've come up with a plan for this year, and we'll go over that in just a minute. But first, let's go over the test. So back in February, I did a soil sample, went around the yard, pulled about, I think, 7 or 8 of these larger plugs with this bulb planter, and just collected some soil from the different places. Pretty easy. I went down about 6 inches, then mixed all those together in a container, then opened up the soil test kit and gathered my sample here and packaged it up the way MySoil wants it and sent it off for my results. So when you get your test results back, you log into your account that you create, and this is basically what you'll see. Now, Yard Mastery has a version of this also. They give a little more options on different products, mostly geared towards Yard Mastery. That kit wasn't available when I did this, but they're the same thing. In fact, whenever I go to these synthetic products up here that they recommend, it'll take me right to Yard Mastery's website with and for me, they suggested the Carbon-X that I already have, and I had already ordered. But going over these real quick, it's a simple test. My nitrogen I'm not too worried about. It's a little low. Grass uses it. I haven't fertilized since November. This test was taken in mid-February. My phosphorus, I was a little surprised by this. When I did a soil test last summer, preparing for fall, this was a little lower. Actually, it was considerably lower than what this is showing here. But this is what's more concerning me, are 2 things here. The potassium is really low, and I think as a result of that, my pH is a little low. So I've already applied some calcium. I plan on getting out a lot more potassium this year. These other things I'm not too worried about. A lot of this is covered in a biostim pack. The iron gets used up, I'm sure. Boron, I'm not entirely sure what that's entirely for, but I've never seen anybody worry about it. But all these micronutrients here, they're pretty much covered in a biostim pack, so I'm not worried about those. My goal this year is obviously the potassium and my pH levels, mostly because I fight a lot of moss, and if I can get the pH in the more optimal range here, I'll be in good shape, or a little better off. Anyways, what I do like about the MySoil is it does give recommendations for applications on organic and synthetic, what your target is at so many square feet. But what's really nice is it gives you some links up here to click to either organic products, which for me, as you'll see here, will take me to domyown.com, and immediately just takes me to some suggestions. Or if I click on the synthetic products, it takes you right to Yard Mastery and immediately suggests the CX DIY, which I already have. So that's pretty simple to use, pretty impressive that it gives you a good idea of what you need. I'll probably do another soil test in the fall again. Probably it's not necessary, but I'm really kind of watching the pH. I know Alan Hain mentioned to me, don't worry about my pH, it's not a big deal, and it probably isn't, but I hate fighting moss, so I'm going to do everything I can to combat it, whether it be getting the pH right, getting compaction right, getting my drainage right, getting the shade knocked out, whatever. But this is what your MySoil Test kit looks like. So now let's go over the plan a little bit more. Alright, well, since my phosphorus was at an optimal level, not really high, I don't want it to go much higher. Last year, most of my fertilizing consisted of Milorganite. It's not difficult to find here. It is on the higher price end because we're way over on the west coast. Um, but it's the phosphorus that has me worried. I don't want to push it beyond where it should be. And then it also has no potassium in it. So this year I'm going to do something a little different. I'm still going to use the Milorganite. Probably just going to only use it in the warmer months in the summer where I don't want to push the nitrogen too hard. But my main goal this year is I want to get more comfortable with the Greene County Fertilizer liquid fertilizers. I bought several of them last fall, and I want to try them this year. I have the 700 Green Effect, the 1801 Green Punch, and the 1621 2 Green Pop. So my plan is this coming fall I'm going to completely renovate the backyard. So I figure I can't hurt nothing if I use the liquids in the backyard. So that's my goal. The front yard, where I overseeded a lot last year and is doing pretty good, I really want to try the Carbon Earth Carbon X DIY, CX DIY is what they call it this year. So I've got plenty of that to last all year. Now, in addition to the biostimulant pack, which includes Aerate, RGS, Humic 12, and the microgreen, as well as I have some dethatch for the warmer months. But my plan is to do that, kind of a hybrid mix, Carbon X in the front along with the biostimulant pack, and then in the backyard here do the liquid fertilizers, get more comfortable with them, and use the also the biostimulant pack. Now I do plan on a full renovation back here. I'm going to be digging up some sprinklers and do some other things I'll show you here in a minute. But I want to get comfortable using the liquid fertilizers because ultimately, after watching John's video he released just a couple days ago, he's got me pretty convinced that it's just easier, it's more cost effective, and it seems to spread better. I've never tried the Carbon X stuff. I really do want to try it. My whole plan may change. I may just love it and keep using it. I definitely do want to use the X soil later this year. I also want to get the Stress X when it becomes available to help my potassium levels up. That's my big goal this year, is get the potassium up, my pH up. I've already spread some lime, as you saw in my video with the spreader. And I'm going to continue to do that. But the goal this year is to learn how to use the liquids in the backyard and try out the Carbon Earth product along with the biostimulant in the front yard and see how that works out. But let's go over what else I plan on doing this year. Okay, so watching some of these little takes as I'm going back, I can hear all the background noise, the sirens. I apologize, guys. It's springtime. It's starting to warm up here. People are coming outside. They're trying to catch up with me on the lawn domination because I'm kicking their butt. So people are mowing. I don't know what's going on with the sirens. Don't really care. I apologize for that. But anyway, here in the backyard, which I haven't done a whole lot of filming back here, I've got a few things I need to do this year. First is I don't have an irrigation that works back here. I do have irrigation back here, but it hasn't worked in 15 years. So I've managed to locate most of the sprinkler heads where I think they are, but since it's been installed, a lot of the layout has changed. So I need to move them around, make it a little more effective. Plus I'm going to be adding some square footage to the backyard here. And let me show you how I plan on doing that. So as you can see here, I've got this old, shouldn't say old, it's not really that old. I've had this vegetable garden here for about 5 years. Haven't used it in 3 years. So probably not going to be using it much anymore. Really all we were ever doing with the vegetables is giving it to the dogs. So I'm going to rip all this out and put all grass back in here probably. And then up here, I'm going to move my travel trailer back up on the RV pad where it belongs and let all the grass grow back under here again, which it hasn't in the last year or so. So that's the other goal. And then I've got to move these pavers. There's a sprinkler back here that I obviously need to put here and get the other ones fixed and whatnot. And then over here on the other side of the shed, whenever they originally put the sprinkler system in, and I apologize for the sun, there's sprinklers in behind these evergreens that I need to bring out to the grass. And then of course, it's hard to tell. It probably looks great on video, but most of this grass back here is pretty tore up from the dogs, and it's probably 70% POA. I need to just wipe it out, kill it, flatten it out a little bit, and I want to completely reseed it. And the other thing I need to do over here, as you can see from my patio cover here, I've got this downspout. I installed this patio cover myself a couple years ago, but it dumps right into the lawn. And when it dumps right into the lawn, it's causing a bunch of flooding through here to go out to the street. Well, on this downspout, as you can see off the house here, it goes out to a drain, which runs right under here and out to the street. Somewhere right around here, that thing's plugged or collapsed or whatever, so I need to dig it up and fix that. But while I have it dug up, I want to tie this drain, put another drain right here to catch it and just take it out to the street so that this quits happening. And I have a plan for this too, as well as here. I tried to overseed this last year, and with the dogs just tearing it up, it didn't take very well. Plus it kept flooding out. I kind of have a drainage issue, and that's the other thing is, as I go through the gate here, I have drainage all along the side of the house this way. I'm thinking about cutting a French drain in there while I have all this dug up, so that I can have it just drain into that same 3-inch PVC and out to the street. Let's go check that out. So those are some of the projects for this year. But out here, I have drainage problems, and as you can see, it's the side of the house that gets all the shade too. So I have drainage problems here. I have all this afternoon shade, so I end up with a ton of moss in here. It's half why I want to fix the pH problem. And then I'm sure you've already noticed this walkway is just terrible. I bought the house like this. It's kind of sinking, unsettled. I need to pull all these pavers up, re-level it all back out, probably bring it up higher so it drains better. And I don't even know that I like these pavers. I'll probably change them. But in here, the camera doesn't really catch it as well as it probably could. But this is something I'm going to start here very, very soon. I wish the lighting was different. But there is a ton of Poa annua and Poa trivialis all through here. And it kind of runs down where somebody tried to cut a French drain in but didn't do it very good. But it's all over back here. So I want to fix that. And then I've got some evergreens over here that don't do very well because they don't get a whole lot of sun. This is about it. I am going to clean these planters up and remulch them. That'll be another video. I already got the mulch. Same thing with the big one out front. And there's another one up here. The stripes are still holding good from the other day, I think. Let's see. Not the greatest sun afternoon angle. Maybe that, can you see how neon green that is? Just terrible. See more of it? Now it's really starting to show. See all the Poa? It's all neon green. Just, I can't stand it. Need to get rid of it. There's a lot of it out here. I want to try and save the front yard because it's bigger. I don't want to have to completely renovate it, but if I have to, I have to. So here soon, all this is going to get glyphosated all along the edge here, all along behind me. Probably going to try and bring this planter up level with the patio here and fill that in again to help drainage. Water tends to pool right along here and all the way along there. So, and I think it's because, as you can kind of see now, everything is sloped down in. I just need to bring all this up and get it up above, and hopefully that'll help. I mean, the rest of the yard's a pretty good grade away from the house. So anyway, that's kind of my plan for this year. Probably do some other things. I do have a couple projects I'm trying to work on, project lawns. Don't know if I'll film those or not. People are a little reluctant these days to have anybody over. I get it. But it's getting, the yard's definitely getting better. I mean, it's the first day of spring, and look at this. I haven't put any fertilizer down since Thanksgiving, and it looks pretty darn good. But that's my plan for this year. If you can think of something else you want to see, let me know. I'll gladly do it. I know everybody likes my neighbors. Let's see if I can fix this here. those trees behind me right there. I'll show you a picture from last fall. They're incredible. Anyway, that's my goal, my plan. Greene County Greene County Fertilizer's biostimulant package up here, along with the Carbon Earth, Carbon X DIY, CX DIY, whatever they call it now. The one with the peptides that are supposed to be all great. I'm anxious to put that back here or up here front and see how that does. Anyway, oh, real quick. There's some of you have seen there's a new app that's been put out by Turf Therapy. Rob, great guy, great channel. He's put an app together to help you with determining, how many pounds of fertilizer you should put out, how many, whether it be liquid or granular. It's a great little app. You should check it out. It's available both Android and iPhone. Normally it's 99 cents to buy that app, but Rob has agreed to let me give away two different apps for free. Doesn't matter if you have an Android or iPhone. Kind of winging this here. I'm not really sure how to give these away. Tell you what, just put a comment below that you're interested in the app, and maybe what your plan to use is this year, whether it's granular or liquid. Let me know, and then I'll just use like a random common picker in a week or so. I don't know when. I'll just pick 2 people, and we'll give you a free app. If you already have it, great. Let's let some people that don't have the app that'd like to try it out. But I'll put a link to the app in the description down below as well, and as well as Turf Therapy's YouTube channel. All right, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Really, Brutus?